People often ask why early 2000s teen dramas were so addictive. With that, they mean shows like One Tree Hill, Smallville, Gossip Girl, and, for example, The OC. Millions of people watched episode after episode. These series were so binge-worthy. How is that possible? I don't think it was because these shows had better stories. These series understood something or had some insight about television that many, not every, modern shows seem to have forgotten, which might be the reason why these Type A series don't work so often anymore. Today we're using The OC, for example, to understand this question. Not because this episode is perfect, but because it demonstrates almost everything that made these shows so binge-worthy. So, I think there are 4 reasons, and think with me. The first reason is emotional investment. When people think about The OC, they often remember the romances. Ryan and Marissa, Seth and Summer situation. They use these people. The writers spent an incredible amount of time making us care about these people before asking us to care about the plot. In the pilot, you even see it within the first minutes. That's an important difference. If Ryan gets into trouble, we don't care because it's exciting. We care because we've spent hours watching him struggle to fit into a completely different world with different people, especially. The same goes for Marissa and the other characters. Even side characters slowly become familiar. The longer you watch, the more these people begin to feel like people you actually know. I know that's with every show, but it just feels different. And once television manages to do that, it's very difficult to stop watching. The second reason is uncertainty. One thing The OC constantly did well was making you question where every relationship was heading. Not everything ended with a dramatic cliffhanger. Instead, many episodes simply ended with uncertainty. Will Ryan make the right decision? Will Seth finally tell Summer how he feels? Can this friendship survive? The answers were rarely immediate. That uncertainty quietly pushed viewers into the next episode. You didn't necessarily need explosions, you just needed another question. The third reason is progression. Modern television sometimes feels like every episode starts over, but The OC rarely felt that way. Every conversation mattered. Every mistake had consequences. Relationships slowly changed over time. People grew closer. People drifted apart. Characters learned from previous episodes. That creates momentum. Watching one episode no longer feels enough, because you're no longer watching isolated stories. You're watching lives continue, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons these shows became so addictive. Finally, atmosphere. This might actually be the most underrated reason. I've talked about it in one of my other videos as well. You probably don't just remember every scene. In this case, you remember the beaches, the sunlight, the large houses, the music. Everything worked together to create a world that people wanted to spend time in. For a newer version, you could look at Outer Banks. The setting almost became another character, and that's incredibly powerful, because once viewers fall in love with a world, they'll happily spend another 40 minutes inside it. Every episode quietly encouraged you to watch just one more. The OC is simply one of the best examples of that formula, and maybe that's the real secret behind why early 2000s teen dramas were so impossible to stop watching. What do you think? Thanks for watching.